In this video, we're going to talk about selecting tracks and playlists to copy from your iTunes library over into Dapper. Now you'll notice that my iTunes library here has about 5,100 items, and most specifically it has 137 gigs on there, and I don't necessarily want to have all of those things copied over to my DAP. You may have a similar situation, or maybe you want everything to be copied over. But by default, Dapper is only going to show the specific playlists and copy specific playlists over to your DAP where the playlist name begins with Dapper, or it's in a folder named Dapper. So let's have a look at the first one, playlists with names beginning with Dapper. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and I'm going to create a new playlist. And this one I'm going to call Dapper Test 1. And what I can do is I can go into my music, I can pick some of these tracks, and I can drag them over into Dapper Test 1. And here now is this playlist that I've created. Its name begins with Dapper, and it has 13 tracks in it. Now, if I go back over to my Dapper application, what it's going to do is it's going to read my library after a couple of seconds, and you'll see that the number of playlists to sync is now 1 because it's found one playlist with the word Dapper in them. And you could go ahead and you could do a similar thing. I could duplicate this and have my second playlist here. I'll call this Dapper Test 2. All right, so now I have a second playlist. And once again, if I go back here into my Dapper, it's going to update and read that there are 2 tracks that it needs to copy, or 2 playlists to copy over. All right, so Dapper is going to copy over playlists that begin with the word Dapper. That's the easiest way to do things. Let's have a look at something a little bit more complex. I'm going to go ahead and delete these 2. Another way to do this is to create a folder and call the folder Dapper. Now, anything that gets put into this folder is going to be copied over. So for example, maybe I create a new playlist, and this one I'm going to call, I don't know, test 1. And once again, I can go into my music. I can copy some or put some music into this particular test 1. And I could, for example, also create, let's just do for giggles, a smart playlist and say I want it to be anything where the media kind is music because I don't want to copy over videos. And let's just say I want 25 of the most recently added items. And now this is my playlist. Let's say recent 25. And I have 2 playlists, and they're both in the Dapper folder. One is a regular one that I've created myself, and the second one is a smart playlist, which is actually going to copy the 25 most recent songs over. And let's go ahead and duplicate this, and let's say that I wanted the recent, we will call this guy recent 250. And I'm going to edit this recent 250 playlist and say, well, I want 250 tracks in this one. So now I have 1, 2, 3 playlists that should synchronize over to Dapper. And if I go into Dapper again, it's going to go ahead and scan the library and see that there are 3 playlists. And you'll notice that these numbers here changed as well. So the amount of space that's going to be used, about 7 gigabytes and 649 megs on that side. If I went in here and removed the bulk of those, let's go ahead and delete this one. And I then go back into Dapper. You'll see these 7 gigs and 649. Once it reads that there are only 2 playlists now to synchronize over, those are going to change. So 2 ways of selecting particular playlists that you want to copy over using Dapper. You can either put them in a Dapper folder, or you can name the playlist and begin the name with the word Dapper.